Welcome to Snowmobiler Television. On today's episode, we're riding in the Abitibi region of Quebec.
STV is sponsored by Yamaha, revs your heart. Kimpex, fueled by fun. And by Skidoo, never stop pushing.
On this sled trip, I'm joined by my brother Paul, who got me into the sport of snowmobiling back in 1973. We tapped into the fleet of sleds and chose the Polaris Switchback and the Yamaha Viper as our rides in Abitibi. On this trip, we also joined up with the intrepid snowmobiler Craig Nicholson and his touring crew. I strapped on my Contour camera and explored the trails with our team.
The main reason you have to go in Abitibi-Témiscamingue for snowmobiling is because of the trails. They are awesome and you will never see something like that in another place.
Well, what's special about it is, firstly, they've got 3,700 kilometers or more of trails, a lot of towns, and it's anchored by La Sarre, Rouyn-Noranda, Amos, and Val-d'Or. So there's a rectangle there that has all kinds of local trails, plus their Trans-Quebec trails. So there's a whole lot of variety of different kinds of trails you can ride. The riding is a real variety of stuff. There's the long, flat, straight stretches, but there's also lots of rolling trails with wide sweeping corners, and a lot of local trails that take you to some really good services. The whole region is well serviced. You certainly don't have to worry about getting gas, finding a restaurant, finding a hotel, and having those major towns there means there's dealers available too if you have a problem.
Abitibi is well known for a long season and great wide trails that meander through the Quebec wilderness.
The first thing is the trails. The trails are amazing because we have a lot of snow and the temperature is just cold enough to keep the grooming perfect. So that's easier for us to have beautiful trails soon in the winter and late too. So we have a beautiful season. And that's not the only point. We have also some beautiful accommodation and everything, meals, lodging, gas. So this is a really good place for snowmobiling. There is everything you need. There is a lot of packages you can have in different hotels. Many places where snowmobilers are very welcome. So that's great. And about the gas. You have gas everywhere and in Abitibi-Témiscamingue. Sometimes there is maybe 2 or 3 trails. You have to be sure to have enough gas in the beginning, but in general it's perfect. We can do that, you can do that.
It's a space, in fact, you have long, well, you'll ride for kilometers and kilometers without seeing any building or anything. Like it's only trees and lakes and things like that. So this is the main focus that you should get there. We believe that our trails are a little bit wider than usual. It's because with the kind of we're using logging roads and things like that have been abandoned by the loggers, and so it's safer. The wider the trail, the safer it is. Right. And it's pretty hilly, in fact. You don't get the big mountains, the challenges as mountains, but it's not flat. It's you'll have fun riding it here, that's for sure. The normal width of our trails will be over 20 feet, which is good. We're aiming at 24. The one thing that the region has over, well, pretty much all the others, we don't get that much rain here. So you don't get those icy situations which are hard to manage there. We are riding on snow most of the time, for the whole season in fact. We try to groom our most used trails about 4 times a week.
Right.
And those which are used, but like let's say the trail to going to Rapid 7 takes about 20 hours going back and forth that trail, so we do it no more than two times a week.
Right. Yeah.
But since it's such a long trail, well, it stays nice because if you have a short trail that everybody uses there, it becomes bumpy very often, very soon. But since we have lots of mileage there, all those snowmobiles, they do ride it, but the damages are spread over a larger area, I should say.
The region is also known for top-notch hospitality that provides great accommodations right on the trail.
One thing very easy is the fact that we are by the trail, right? The 83 trail pass right here nearby. And the thing is also, one of the things is garage for sure, and like I said, but also that we have direct outside access to the room. So they don't have to go in the stair or in the hallway or whatever to go in their room. They can have a direct access from outside to their room. So that's what I appreciate also. And we have complete restoration here. So you can enjoy a breakfast and they have enjoy a drink on the evening and a good lunch and a good dinner. So that I'm quite complete. Okay, when they arrive here, they are at home and they feel at home from the beginning till they leave.
The other thing I like about it is that for weekend warrior style riding, guys don't want to go out and do big mileages. There's lots of mileage you can do there. I mean, doing 400 kilometers a day in those trails is no problem whatsoever. By the same token, if you're couples or you've got a family you want to go, you can go and do short loops. You can do like a 100-kilometer loop. There's all kinds of loops and trails you can do. So there's a little bit of everything for everyone, and so that's what makes it a great place to go. So the other thing that's special about Abitibi-Témiscamingue, firstly, it's easy to get to from Ontario. And of course, as soon as you cross the border into Quebec, you're into the whole Francophone culture. Everybody speaks English, and so there's no problem with that. But it is a different culture. The menus are different. There's a unique, authentic flavor to the place. The towns are charming. So there's a whole other social experience there that you don't get in other places you can go.
For people out in the mountains who want to try out their version of the Viper, Yamaha has a Try Before You Ride program. Jamie is here to tell us all about it.
The tour has been wonderful. This is the first time we've approached the mountain market in British Columbia and parts of Alberta. The Albertans are coming over, and our response so far has been outstanding. I've had accolades. Some of the words that we've had: epic, awesome, right? That's the most fun I've ever had on a snowmobile. These are just some of the comments that are coming back. We're very, very excited about where our direction's going for the mountain market, and we're very happy that consumers are getting an opportunity to ride it. There's no words about it that we've been in a marketplace where we've been heavy, right? And people won't want to ride it because of, but now we're in a situation where the horsepower to weight ratio has been spectacular. Running these MPI 180 turbo kits, factory installed, coming with a warranty. It's very, very exciting. We're back in the game and we're going to be competitive, and we're excited about that.
Well, it's a new deal for Yamaha, having the Spring Power Tour to coincide with the Spring Power Surge early deposit program. So we get a chance to take our key customers out and go for a ride and spend a few hours on the machines. All kinds of different terrain, lots of powder snow as you can see in the background, and just having a fantastic day. Well, most of the people that are out here today test riding are people that have been riding two-strokes for years. And so far, everybody is giving it a complete thumbs up. Yeah, it's definitely super agile. It's completely different than the previous generation of Nitro sled. In fact, most people when they hop on it, they fall off on the inside. The skis are further forward and the spindles are more raked, so it definitely tends to carve through the snow better. With the chassis also being powder coated instead of bare aluminum, it's not collecting the snow. So as we're riding now, the difference in weight is probably well over 50 pounds.
That ride was awesome. It's the turbo. I took the factory turbo. Nice sled. Power. I tried to get stuck, couldn't get stuck. It just climbs out of everything, that sled. We were playing around in a meadow up there, full bore, and it just picks up and just goes like power, lots of power. I am trading mine in. Yeah, I wouldn't ride a sled without a turbo on it now. This is my first time with a turbo. Yeah, no comparison. It's got to have turbo, especially those 4-stroke.
Well, currently I'm riding an RMK, an 07 RMK 700, and coming to this where it's the stock Yamaha or the one with the turbo, I find it is more horsepower even the stock one. And my dad rides a Nitro, and I find that when I'm riding the Nitro, it's kind of heavy for me. I find that the snowmobile drives me. I don't drive the snowmobile. And coming onto the Viper here, it's just night and day. Like, it does anything that I want it to do, which is, I'm not, I'm more of an amateur rider. I find that the snowmobile kind of drives me half the time, where I find this, like, it's doing exactly what I want it to do. I kind of put a little weight to one side and it's rolling over, and the steering's amazing. And the turbo is really, really fun. I find I'm chopping a nut in the powder here, and the turbo kicks in and I feel like I'm gonna fall off, and I give it just a little bit more throttle and it just digs me right in and keeps me on, and so much fun, so much fun.
Jeez, it's crazy. So much fun, this thing. It's just flipper fun, I tell you. Touch it, go. Great time. It handles quite a bit better than my Nitro does, actually. I find it just flips over when you want it in the snow, lays right over. You turn anywhere you want. Pretty impressive.
How about the fun factor with that 180 kit?
That feels like more than 180. I tell you. It's definitely no stock sled, I tell you that.
Being able to test out a sled in real-world conditions is a great way to try a sled before you buy. If any of these power rides come to your area, check them out and get involved. The route from Cartwright to Rigolette requires some serious attention to ride around and away from the huge bays of the mighty Atlantic Ocean that penetrate inland from the main body. Looking at the sea ice, it's extremely important for racers to steer clear, as harsh frozen ice drifts and open water are surprises often discovered too late. As dusk moves in and the winds pick up, the visibility makes this 150-kilometer ride along the Atlantic's edge all that more dangerous. Standings at Rigolette show Team 5 in first, followed closely by Team 73 and 7 in second and third. Next stop is Northwest River, which swings the teams back inland towards Goose Bay. Labeled as Team Goose Bay, Team 5 supporters were out cheering on the boys, who came in second behind Team 7, Snow Escapes from Ontario. Third went to Team 73, as this three-pack of teams worked together to navigate what was a cold, windy, and nasty night of riding along dangerous terrain, a night that took its toll.
It was a lovely night. White out snowstorm, 40 below, it was a great night, yeah. Shannon said one girl asked him how he was driving. He's like this. That pretty much describes it. It really is tough. I'd love to have a nap right now, and I might just do that. We'll see. But I don't know. We'll take 10 or 15 minutes, recharge, eat, hydrate, think about it with a clearer mind, and kind of put our heads together, come up with our strategy, and figure out what we're going to do.
When you're running 600, 700 kilometers a day with those kind of conditions we got, you know, you can't expect to go 32 to 40 hours then. You know, it's just, well, I mean, we got to keep going now, but it's not, you know, I don't even know how that's going to do it. We were down there having lunch, and half of them were just, you know, eyeballed out, and we got to go through country here now, breaking trail for another 200 kilometers, you know, so I don't know, it's going to be an all-nighter again tonight with no sleep again.
We're just gonna sit here and have some soup and some coffee and get as much water into us as we can, and a couple hour break and carry on. Try not to think about it.
Team 17, who had also been keeping close quarters with this group of 3, arrived and added to the report on the run from Rigolette to Northwest River.
I think I'm going to need a little breather before I go anywhere. Like you said, now 20 plus hours on the sled. The body's starting to take a toll, so I need to recharge and get back at her again, but it's probably going to be a couple hours before I'm going to be able to do it.
How's this for styling and definitely out of the norm for remote Labrador? In from Goose Bay, these Team 5 ladies enjoyed a luxury ride to visit with the boys as they opted to take a longer break at this checkpoint. Not being a mandatory layover did not stop some teams from hanging back to recover. The advanced planning for this group in booking a bed and breakfast for the racers to rest up was a genius idea after the night it was. Although it was snug, the support crews kept planning, calls from home were made, the boys were snoozing, and a much-needed slowdown was enjoyed by all as gear was dried and many winks were had. It cost the teams involved valuable time, and it would be sundown when they would be ready to roll again. But the idea to rest versus push harder was part of the strategy to gaining an advantage when the time comes to finish hard and fast. For one team, their extended stay was not to rest. Sadly, it was spent at the end of the tools getting their sled back up and running.
We had trouble up in Cartwright coming out, and we couldn't. She was just bogging, sputtering, and she shut down. We put gas on antifreeze in her, and we got another, few kilometers, and she stopped again on us. And luckily, we only got 7 kilometers out, and that's where she died on us. And if it wasn't for the lady that just walked in the door, actually, we wouldn't be thankful to her hospitality.
She's hiding. She's hiding back there. Come on, let me see you.
She's hiding.
There we are.
Came in, she gave us her grad, she gave us the tools, and she cooked us a pot of chili and homemade buns, and made sure we were fed, and took care of us. We don't want to go. And we're going to stay another couple of days. Only way we get it, we get timed out, so we're going. We spent all day at the Skidoo, we changed everything. Oil, spark plugs, TPS.
Did you ever figure out what it was?
Yep, Artie Cat parts. On the Yamaha. That's what we narrowed it down to. It was a long process, but that's what it boiled down to. It was an Artie Cat wiring system in it and everything, sensors, and it just don't work. So.
Now let's get straight to it.
Yeah, well, it's true.
Hi, I'm Jonathan from Kimpex, and today we're going to talk about the Commander RS4 tracks. So basically, these tracks are here to create the snowmobiling feeling for all ATVers, and all that on your own quad. So, the RS4 uses a 20-inch sprocket because it's the best ratio that the tracks could give. All you want on this ATV is really to be able to put down all the power, so 2 other components are helping. You have the thinner tracks, which the 8-inch wipe, that really helps you really maneuver the tracks and really go where you want to go, and also really to be sure to put down all the power when you need it. All the tracks come pre-studded. So the 20-inch oversized sprocket from the RS4 is what really enables us to get the 80 to 85% power ratio compared to 60% for normal tracks. Unlike any other tracks, these tracks were created to reduce vibration so you and your passenger can have a smoother ride. Another advantage of this track system is you're able to get out of any ruts you may encounter. And also, the easy steering with the thinner tracks will enable you to go where you want, when you want. When it comes to safety, this track configuration, combined with the studded tracks, keeps the driver in control, no matter what the conditions are when you go riding. On a groomed trail, unlike wheeled ATVs, these tracks won't chew up the trail.
I had a chance to ride the new Commander RS4 track system today. I was really impressed. Very much like tires. Not a lot more work than riding on tires. A lot of the same riding abilities, similar feedback from the machine that you would experience with tires. We were on pavement today, so we had similar wheel spin, similar sliding around the corners as you would experience with tires. And I very much look forward to trying it out in the dirt and the snow, which is where I really think they're going to excel.
If you think tires are fun, you should try the RS4 tracks. You'll get better performance out of them than any other track system. You'll have less fatigue when you finish your ride, and you'll have lots more fun. And all this with less impact on the trails. Believe me, if you try the RS4, you won't go back.
I fear what this will become. Running through our veins, we are numb. Fixate our minds on all things breathing. Where will you go when they are leaving?
STV is sponsored by Ultimax Belts. Performance proven, performance driven. Triton Trailers, the difference is in the details. And by CKX, wear your passion.
As we finish up here, I'm getting ready to head to the Rocky Mountains to catch up with some keener powder riders and some of the best powder riders anywhere on the planet. We love to hear from you, so send me a message to phil@snowmobilertv.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week on the snow.